Single dad fed a homeless woman. Weeks later, her lawyers knocked on his door. Marcus pulled his coat tighter as the November rain hammered against the diner window. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, sat across from him, swinging her legs and coloring on a paper placemat. It was their Friday tradition, just the two of them, a small escape from the weight of everything else. "Daddy, can I get the pancakes with the smiley face?" Lily asked, her eyes bright with hope. Marcus smiled, though his wallet felt dangerously thin in his pocket. Money was tight. It had been since Lily's mother, Jessica, walked out when Lily was only 3 months old. She'd never wanted to be a mother, never wanted the responsibility. One day she was there, the next she was gone. No note, no explanation, just gone. Marcus had raised Lily alone ever since, unmarried, unpartnered, just a man doing his absolute best for the little girl who depended on him for everything. "Of course, sweetheart," he said. His deep voice warmed despite the worry gnawing at him. The waitress took their order, and Marcus glanced out the window, his piercing blue eyes catching something that made him pause. A woman, maybe late 20s, stood under the diner's awning, soaked to the bone. Her platinum blonde hair was matted and dark with rain. Her clothes were torn, filthy. But even through the grime, there was something almost elegant about the way she held herself, like she was fighting to maintain dignity in a situation that had stripped it all away. Lily noticed too. "Daddy, that lady looks really cold." Marcus's jaw tightened. He knew that look. Hunger, desperation, the kind that made you invisible to everyone walking by. "Yeah, baby, she does." Lily put down her crayon and looked up at him with those innocent, trusting eyes. "Can we help her? Like you always tell me we should help people?" Marcus hesitated. He was already stretching every dollar just to keep the lights on. Working double shifts at the warehouse, picking up weekend hours, skipping meals so Lily could eat. But then he looked at his daughter, at her pure, compassionate heart, the heart he'd worked so hard to nurture. "Stay here, okay?" he said, standing up. His tall, athletic frame unfolded as he headed toward the door. Outside, the freezing rain stung his face. The woman flinched when Marcus approached, her bright green eyes filled with fear and deep suspicion. "Hey," Marcus said gently, keeping his distance, his hands visible and non-threatening. "You okay out here?" She looked at him like she couldn't believe someone was actually speaking to her, like she'd become so used to being invisible that kindness seemed impossible. "I'm fine," she said quietly, her voice barely audible over the pounding rain. "You don't look fine," Marcus said honestly, his tone soft but direct. "When's the last time you had something to eat?" Her lips trembled. She looked away, hugging herself tighter against the cold. I don't have any money. I can't pay you back." "I didn't ask if you could pay me back," Marcus replied with a gentle smile. "I asked when you last ate." Tears welled up in her eyes. She shook her head, unable to speak. Marcus held the diner door open. "Come on. Let's get you warmed up and fed. No strings attached." She stared at him, complete disbelief written across her delicate features. "Why? Why would you do that for a stranger?" "Because you're a person," Marcus said simply. "And people deserve to be treated with dignity. That's what I'm teaching my daughter. Now come on before we both catch pneumonia." Inside the diner, the woman sat across from Marcus and Lily, water dripping from her hair onto the vinyl seat. The waitress gave Marcus a judgmental look, but he ignored it completely. Lily smiled shyly at the stranger. "What's your name?" Lily asked sweetly, her small voice filled with genuine curiosity. The woman hesitated, then answered softly, "Sophia." "I'm Lily. That's my daddy. He's the best daddy in the whole world." Marcus felt his chest tighten with emotion. He ordered Sophia a full meal, hot tomato soup, a grilled cheese sandwich, coffee with cream, and a generous slice of apple pie. When the food arrived, she ate slowly, carefully, like she was afraid it might vanish if she moved too fast, like it was a dream she didn't want to wake up from. "Thank you," Sophia whispered, her voice breaking. "You have no idea what this means to me." Marcus shrugged, his broad shoulders relaxing slightly. "Everyone needs help sometimes. I've been there. Different circumstances, but I know what it's like to feel alone." Sophia looked at him for a long moment, studying his face. His strong, chiseled jawline, the genuine kindness in his deep blue eyes, the way he looked at his daughter with pure, unconditional love, the way he'd clearly sacrificed everything for her. "You're raising her alone?" Sophia asked quietly. Marcus nodded. "Yeah. Her mom left when she was a baby. It's been just us ever since." "She's lucky to have you," Sophia said, tears streaming down her face. "You're a good man, a really, really good man. The world needs more fathers like you." Marcus felt uncomfortable with the praise. "I'm just doing what any parent should do, taking care of my kid, being there." "Not everyone does that," Sophia said softly, something painful flickering in her green eyes. "Trust me, not everyone does." When they finished eating, Marcus paid the bill and left a tip he honestly couldn't afford. Sophia reached across the table and touched his hand gently, her fingers cold but her grip firm. "I'll never forget this kindness," she said, her eyes locked on his with an intensity that made him pause. "Never, I promise you." Marcus smiled warmly. "Just take care of yourself, okay? There's a good shelter on 5th Street if you need a place tonight. They're good people there." "Thank you," she whispered again, her voice thick with emotion. As Marcus and Lily walked to the car through the pouring rain, Lily slipped her tiny hand into his much larger one. "I'm proud of you, Daddy," she said. Marcus's throat tightened. He knelt down in the rain, not caring that he was getting soaked, and looked his daughter in the eyes. "I'm proud of you too, sweetheart. You have the biggest, most beautiful heart. Don't ever lose that." 3 weeks passed like they always did. Relentless. Exhausting. Marcus worked his warehouse job during the day, often pulling 12-hour shifts. At night, he drove for a rideshare service until 2 or 3 in the morning. He'd come home, sleep for a few hours, wake up, get Lily ready for school, and start all over again. Money was still impossibly tight. The rent was 2 weeks late. The electric bill had a final notice stamp on it. Marcus was surviving on coffee, determination, and love for his daughter. Then one Saturday morning, there was a sharp official-sounding knock at the door. Marcus opened it to find 2 people in expensive designer suits, a man and a woman, both carrying premium leather briefcases. They looked completely out of place in his modest apartment building. "Marcus Richardson?" the woman asked professionally. "Yeah, that's me," Marcus said cautiously, his protective instincts immediately kicking in. "What's this about? Is something wrong?" "May we come in, sir?" the man asked politely. "This concerns someone you met recently. It's important." Marcus hesitated, then stepped aside. They entered his small, humble apartment. Lily peeked around the corner from her bedroom, curious but sensing the seriousness. "Mr. Richardson," the woman began, settling onto his worn couch, "do you remember a woman named Sophia Westbrook?" Marcus blinked in surprise. The woman from the diner? Sophia? Is she okay? Did something happen to her?" "Yes and no," the woman said carefully. "There's considerably more to her story than you knew that night." Marcus's confusion deepened. "I don't understand." The man leaned forward, his expression serious but kind. "Sophia Westbrook was one of the wealthiest women on the entire East Coast. She inherited a massive fortune from her family's technology and real estate empire, worth over $50 million. Marcus stared at them like they were speaking a foreign language. "What? That's impossible. She was homeless, she was starving, she was testing humanity," the woman said softly. 5 years ago, Sophia lost someone incredibly important to her, her younger sister, Maya. Maya struggled with severe mental illness and eventually became homeless. She died alone on the streets of Philadelphia because no one would help her. Dozens of people walked past her every single day, ignored her, treated her like garbage, like she wasn't even human. Marcus's heart shattered. "Oh God." After Maya's death, the man continued, Sophia became consumed by one devastating question. Are there still genuinely good people left in this world? People who help without expecting anything in return? Without recognition, reward, or even gratitude? The woman pulled out a thick, official-looking folder. So for the past 3 years, Sophia conducted what she called her humanity experiment. She disguised herself as homeless in different cities across the country. New York, Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami. 18 cities total. She would stand in the rain, sit on street corners, ask for help, waiting, watching, testing people's compassion. Marcus's throat went completely dry. "And? You're the first person," the woman said, her voice breaking slightly with emotion. "In 3 years, across 18 major cities, hundreds of encounters, who actually helped her, who saw her as a human being, who treated her with genuine dignity and kindness." Marcus couldn't speak. He just sat there, stunned. The man's expression grew somber. Sophia passed away 2 weeks ago. Pancreatic cancer. It was aggressive and sudden. But before she died, she finalized her will with very, very specific instructions. With trembling hands, Marcus opened the folder. Inside was a handwritten letter on elegant, expensive stationery. The handwriting was shaky but deliberate. "Dear Marcus, that night in the diner, you gave me something I'd been desperately searching for 3 long years. Hope, faith, proof that goodness and compassion still exist in this cold world. You didn't see a homeless woman. You saw a person, a human being worthy of dignity. And you didn't help me because you had extra money. I could see the struggle in your eyes, the exhaustion, the weight you carry every single day. You helped me because it was simply the right thing to do. You're teaching your beautiful daughter what real compassion looks like, what unconditional love means. That's worth more than all the money in the world. I have no family left, no children, no one to leave my legacy to. But I want everything I have to go to someone who will use it to spread kindness. Someone who embodies everything good about humanity. Someone exactly like you. Please accept this gift. Not as payment, your kindness can never be repaid, but as proof that goodness matters, that your choice to help a stranger changed absolutely everything. Give Lily the life she deserves, give yourself the peace you've earned, and never, ever stop being the beautiful soul you are." With eternal gratitude and respect, Sophia Marcus looked up, tears streaming down his face, his strong hands shaking. "What does this mean?" The woman smiled gently, warmly. "It means, Mr. Richardson, that Sophia left you her entire estate. $22 million. A complete trust fund for Lily's education through any graduate school she chooses. Your mortgage and all debts paid in full. And a foundation established in your name to help homeless individuals and struggling single parents." Marcus's breath caught. He couldn't breathe. He covered his face with his hands, his broad shoulders shaking with sobs. Lily ran into the room and threw her arms around him. "Daddy, what's wrong? Why are you crying?" He pulled her into his lap, holding her impossibly tight, unable to form words. The lawyers stood respectfully. "We'll give you time to process this," the woman said kindly. "Here's all our contact information. When you're ready, we'll help you navigate everything. Take your time." After they left, Marcus sat on the floor with Lily, still crying, still unable to believe what had just happened. "Daddy, are we okay?" Lily whispered, worried. "Yeah, baby," he finally managed, his voice thick with overwhelming emotion. "We're more than okay. We're going to be just fine. Better than fine. But it wasn't just the money. It wasn't the security or the relief. It was the profound reminder that kindness matters, that one simple act of treating someone with basic human dignity could literally change everything. He'd bought a hungry stranger a meal, and in return, she'd given him proof that goodness isn't weakness, that compassion isn't foolish, that raising his daughter to see people, really see them, was the most important thing he'd ever do. Sometimes the smallest acts create the biggest miracles. The end, one meal, one moment of kindness, one choice to see a person instead of a problem. That's all it takes to change everything. Never underestimate the power of a compassionate heart. Your kindness might just save someone.